So I'll turn it straight over to the head coach.
All right, thanks, Ross. Good morning. Excited about getting ready for Louisville this week. Proud of our guys, again, for how they competed against Florida State. That was a tremendous just performance on both sides and a very clean game and something we can build on, which is what our goal is this week, is to build on the improvement and the momentum, getting back in division play, going to a team on the road where they've won 4 out of the last 5 games, so it's a team that's got a lot of confidence. They just went on the road, beat an undefeated Wake Forest at their place, and a team that is, I think, playing really well, and a team that you can just see improving. I cannot say enough about the job that Scott and his staff has done. I mean, it's just incredibly obvious to watch the difference in where they are right now and what I saw last year in getting ready for Louisville. It's just it's polar opposite, and there's a lot of the same guys, but they just got them playing with incredible belief. Their effort is tremendous. They have an excellent scheme on both sides, and it's just a different deal. They've only had, they've rushed for over 200 yards on everybody they've played except Florida State, including Notre Dame. So I think they're one of the best in the country at plays of 10 yards or more. They've been explosive. Everything they do offensively is built through running the football. A lot of option principles. I really like their scheme. They're primarily a pistol team, but lots of option principles built into it and a lot of play action off of it. So this is a team that knows what they're doing on offense, and the quarterback is outstanding. Well, actually, they're playing both guys. Three got banged up, and 6 comes in and leads them to victory against Wake Forest. Both of them are very accurate passers. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see both of them. But I tell you, that number 3 is Houdini. He just escapes. He's constantly avoiding stuff. You think you got him, and he eludes and extends, runs for first downs, and next thing you know, he's made some really great throw. He's a very accurate passer. So just really impressive with what they're doing. They're good up front, probably the biggest left tackle that we're ever going to see. This guy's he's massive. He's probably 6'8". I think they list him at 370. He's probably 400. He is a huge, and really playing well for them. But their whole offensive line's playing well. Number 10, that back, a really good player. He's made some huge plays for them, big runs. He's caught the ball for them as well. And so tight ends playing really good. All 3 of the receivers, 5 and 1 and 7. I think 7 averages 19 yards a catch. 5's averaging 21 yards a catch. So they've been incredibly explosive, and that's all built through the run game. That's just what they do. They're going to run the ball. They stay patient. They got down against Florida State, 21-0. Mixed in a little bit more 12 personnel. Next thing you know, hey, they got back in the game, hit a couple of big plays, and it was a dogfight down at the end. But just very impressed with what I've seen from them. Offensively, they're going to really challenge us. We're going to have to play well. A lot of discipline, a lot of pressure on our safeties this week, the physicality up front with our D-line, linebackers communicating, fitting things properly, setting the fronts and so forth. So just a game, and that's how they're built. I mean, schematically, they really challenge you, and then how hard they're playing and their effort, and they've got some skill who can make plays. So very impressive what they've been able to do, especially on that side of the ball. And then over on the defensive side, did not start off well, but they are really getting better. And it's the same thing that I would say, watching the tape from last year compared to this year, it's night and day. Guys are playing with great effort. They're playing with good technique. They're not misaligning. They're where they're supposed to be. And that as a coach, that's what you're looking for. And you can see they're playing with physicality. They're rallying to the ball, and they're trying to get after the quarterback. So just a really good team. But probably the thing with this team that's been the biggest equalizer is what they've done in the returns. They got some really dangerous returners that can change the game. So we got a three-phase challenge that we got to be ready to accept up there at Louisville. But I'm excited about it. This is a game where, the division, control of the division's on the line. They beat us, they control their destiny, but since we beat Florida State. So, because that was their one loss in the league. So a 4-2 team lost to Notre Dame, lost at Florida State in a game they could have won. But, with them beating Wake Forest, hey, they're in control if they can find a way to beat us. Same thing for us. We don't want to be at the mercy of somebody losing. We want to be able to stay in control of what we're trying to do, which is win the division. And so this is division playoff football, and it's a best of one. Simple as that. So, we're not a best of four. It's a best of one, and that's the mindset that I want our guys to have, and then just go play well. Play well on the road. We've played one really good game on the road, and one we didn't play very well. So let's create that consistency in what it's going to take to be able to have the type of season we want to have, because you got to play well on the road if you're gonna have a great year. But really impressed with this team, and again the job that Scott has done, and we're excited about going up to Louisville and hopefully playing our best game of the year.
Dabo, when you look at the way they ended the year last year and kind of get blown out late in so many games, just how impressive is it, the job that they've been able to come in and kind of change the culture? It seems like
coaching matters. Coaching matters, and there's no question about that. And I have no idea. And I know they had a coaching change. I think it was not long after our game, maybe a game or so after our game. But and it just, they just kind of just were a team in disarray last year, and a team that, for whatever reason, just wasn't playing hard. And I'm gonna tell you, that's a different deal now. And they got dudes. It's not like they're playing a bunch of freshmen. I mean, they're playing seniors and juniors and some grad guys, and they got several sophomores, but they don't have many freshmen, that are in starting positions for them. So they've come in. Again, coaching matters, and this group has come in, and you can tell that these kids believe in what they're trying to do and what they're trying to build, and that they've really connected, with the team. So, and doing the things that you need to do, as far as developing leadership and controlling the things that you control. But it's a team, again, that's won 4 out of the last 5 games, and the Notre Dame game was a tight game for a while. They were in there for a while, and then Notre Dame hit a couple big plays on them, and 35-17. But they've just found ways to win. They've had a couple games that maybe weren't pretty, if you will, but they found ways to win them, and I think that is a definite indication of what they're doing from a coaching standpoint, and the culture and the belief and hanging in there. Even being down 21-0 at Florida State, and to see them fight back. This is a team that's not going to quit. I don't care. We might get up 21-0. I have no idea. They won't quit. This is a team that you're going to have to go win the game. And so I'm excited about the challenge. Looking forward to it. Got a lot of respect for Scott and the way they do things. And no doubt he's going to build something special there in Louisville.
Coach, it's going to be loud there. You've had the false starts the last couple games. How much of an emphasis is there this week on just having those guys dialed in on the cadence and the silent count, if you go to that?
Yeah, just do what we've always done. We don't have inexperienced guys up front. I mean, these some old dogs. These guys played 1 million snaps, so there's no excuse. I mean, we've played in national championships. These guys that sit right up in here, I mean, they've played a lot of football. And so I know Jackson is our youngest guy, but he's played a lot of football too. He played a lot last year, and he's played 6 games this year. So it doesn't matter how loud it is. We have an operation, and everybody knows how to execute.
You mentioned that they inherited some dudes on offense. How much of what they're doing on offense with Satterfield's, with the option stuff you mentioned, is sort of, I guess, accentuating that talent and fits
they've just done a great job of giving their guys a chance to be successful. They're incredibly committed to the run. They're not a drop back, throw it around team. They chunk it, but it's all, most of it they want it to come off of play action, and so they have to be able to run the ball. So that's just how they're built. Again, pistol, downhill, lots of motions, creating tight end sometimes in the backfield, and he's going to back it, or they're going to run the counter, or they're going to run some type of zone read option, jets. With the option, they got a lot of stuff going on, and then they come with the stretch. And if they get you cut backside, then they've split you in half. Now that guy's got cutback lanes because you've created space. There's just a lot of challenges, and by nature of what they do, they're not a option team, but it's option football, and as far as how you have to defend it. And they create some one-on-one type of tackles, but being able to leverage them is going to be huge. And then our safeties, because the safeties have a lot of conflict, being able to play, because safeties have got to be a part of the fit, so they got to be able to read that play action off of that, and that's a real challenge for them. And corners got to play well, got to tackle well, and then D linemen got to stay on their feet, especially backside guys if they're running that stretch, and then just eye discipline, because there's stuff going on all over the place, and then here he's in the pistol and it's downhill and there's guys going there, so just having your eyes on the right things, not staring in the backfield, and really doing your job. There's just lots of option principles that you have to apply, even though they're a spread offense. But they play with tempo. They do a nice job. And then this little back, man, he's a player. He's not very big, but he's a heck of a player. He is a really good football player. He's made a lot of big plays for him, and all these receivers are confident, and dang, quarterbacks are way more accurate than you want them to be. And then 3, he runs around all over the place. So it's going to be a real challenge for us. So we got to win the matchup up front, and we got to have the right mindset to be able to stop this run, because they're going to do what they do. We're going to do what we do, and so who can win the matchup in the trenches, and who can play more disciplined? That'll be critical.
Coach, did Potter respond yesterday the way you'd expect him to?
Yeah. He did a good job. Got out there, and like I said, he'll be our long field goal guy, and he's a kickoff guy. He's done an awesome job, but got to give somebody else a chance on these short field goals, because we got to have that. And he's just, he's 55%, and he's way better than that. So he's got to get the type of focus that he needs. And so came back and got out there last night and did a good job, but we got a long way to go. And I haven't lost any confidence in him. He's going to kick in the NFL. He's probably the most talented kicker I've ever had, just pure talent and just pure leg strength and all that stuff. He's just got to grow up a little bit. Got to grow up and get the type of mental toughness that it takes to be special at that position, and the type of focus. And so he will. He's a young guy. He's got a long career in front of him, but if he wants to be the guy, he's going to have to earn it.
Coach, I'm not sure how many reserves win Conference Player of the Year week honors. Talk about Matt,
Bob,
offensive lineman of the week, and
didn't
start the game.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and didn't even get our player of the game. How about that? Our player of the game was Jackson Carmen and Travis Etienne. They were our co-offensive player. Heck, he wasn't even in the top 2 for the Tigers. So I think that's great. Now Bockhorst he's just a guy that, man, he's fun to watch. Our offensive line, they played so well, and they have. They really have done a great job, and they're physical. They're playing downfield. You see Cervinka, 10 yards. On the reverse, you see Pollard and Ankrum, 20 yards downfield, blocking DBs in space. These guys are just really playing well, having a lot of fun, and doing a good job. I think we've given up 4 sacks all year. We're probably top 5 or so in the country, something like that, and not giving up sacks. They're just doing a really good job. But Bockhorst is kind of a co-starter for us. He's good enough to start for us, no doubt about it. He's just got a couple of senior guys that pretty good too, in Simpson and Cervenka. But we get him in there and trust him in any situation, and it was a pretty big deal. It was a great message to our team. You know, hey, you don't have to be the starter to go be the player of the game, to be a conference player of the game, whatever. You know, just play well. You know, it doesn't matter who runs out there first. You know, we got a lot of guys that are going to get opportunity to play, and how well do you play? So I think it's really cool, and he did. He was physical and you know, just he's an extra effort guy in everything that he does, and a 4.0 student, by the way. He's one of the smartest guys we've ever had come through this program.
You guys only had 2 punt returners on opposite sides of the field. Are they unorthodox like that?
Yeah, you don't see many teams put 2 back there. I think it makes you a little vulnerable. So, you know, but that's a little different. We'll have to do a good job of you know, our coverage and how we want to punt the ball and all that type of stuff this week, and making sure that we, you know, again, because there are some things that you can do, you know, from a reverse or a fake or ghost, you know, things. So you just got to be a little more disciplined when you got 2 guys back there, because they could dummy some stuff. And, you know, where's the ball, really understand the call of what we're trying to do, punting it, and then get out on the field and net it up.
Coach, their return man Hall had a 100-yard kick return last week for a touchdown, a couple yards deep in the end zone. I know your guys, they always go in there with the assumption that it's coming out, even if it's in the end zone, but I guess that'll be even more so the case this week.
Yeah, and we've done a great job. You know, we're one of the best kickoff coverage teams in the country, and Potter's a big part of that, obviously. But when teams have brought it out, we've done a great job. And our guys, to be quite honest with you, they want them to bring it out. That's kind of the mindset that we have. You know, I like the guys that we got. We got some dudes covering that thing. So, you know, we'll be ready. But it's going to be a huge challenge, because they're, I mean, just unbelievable in their return on both sides, punt return and kick return.
Was Satterfield one of the guys that came through here when he was at App State?
Oh, yeah, he's come through here bunch of times. He came through here when he was at Florida International down there. He came through, and before he came through when he was at App, before he went to Florida International, and then went back to App, and they came down here several times. Always enjoy spending time with him. Did an awesome job at App State. I mean, what a tremendous program they had there, and that he built and that left. Or I say he built. You know, they had Jerry Moore did a pretty good job too. App State's been good forever, but Sat was a great player there, and you know, just did an awesome job of building his program when he was there, and really winning a bunch of games. We played them 1 year. I don't remember, 2 or 3 years ago when we played them. 15. Yeah, we played them, and that wasn't one I was happy to schedule. Those guys are really good. They do a great job. As we've already seen, they beat somebody this year. Beat North Carolina. Yeah, beat North Carolina, which kind of shocked a lot of people. So they're still one of those 10 or 12 undefeated teams out there. So that their coach Drinkwitz, he's done a nice job. He's a good coach, so he's done a nice job. But Scott left him a good program and a good foundation to come in and build upon.
I know Isaiah led the team in tackles and all that last year, but how have you seen him grow even more so this season so far?
He's just really focused. He's much more serious about his game planning, his preparation, just more detailed in what he's doing, and that's just nature of going through the process and developing and growing as a person, maturing. He knows what he wants to do, and he understands he needs to play well to achieve, you know, the type of goals that he has for himself, not just our team goals. But so he's just very locked in. You know, that's the biggest thing. I mean, he's been incredibly consistent, and that's what he was very productive, but kind of inconsistent. You know, like when you grade him. You know, he might not grade a winner, but he'll lead your team in production points. Now he's grading a winner every week. He's getting player of the game, and he's leading your team in production points. So he's just more detailed and just a more complete, well-rounded, knowledgeable football player. He's something special, though. He's really playing some good football.
Coach Jordan Williams was telling us yesterday that he's been lobbying to get in on that fridge package that you got. When you have defensive recruits come in and they see how much fun y'all were having last year with that, how much does that resonate with those guys?
Well, I mean, they all want to do it, but you got to be good enough. And he's number 59, so he ain't getting on it. It's not gonna happen for him. We got a good little group, guys that we think we have a great package. We worked since August. Unfortunately, we should have scored, but we didn't do a good enough job coaching the backside, and we didn't gap hinge. And if we gap hinge, he scores easily. But we had a guy come unblocked from the backside, and we didn't do a good enough job teaching that part of it. But we'll get all that cleaned up. But we got a nice little package that we believe in, and it's just a change up, and it's just physical football, and you just got bigger dudes. I mean, you got 300-pounders in there that are athletic. And it's not that you don't like your 250, 60-pound tight end. It's just you got a 300-pound. I mean, do you want Dexter in there? Do you want, Christian? I mean, and then Xavier Thomas. He's 260 pounds and can fly. Now, I still thought he could have got in, but that was his first time to kind of be out there, and he's still a young player, kind of getting his sea legs under him. But he'll be a guy that can get it done.
With Xavier Thomas, I know that during camp you wanted him to sort of round down his game more. I guess through halfway through 6 games, how would you assess?
I would say he's a lot like Isaiah Simmons as a sophomore. Actually, Isaiah was a redshirt, so he's probably ahead of Isaiah Simmons as a redshirt freshman, but probably more like Isaiah as a redshirt sophomore. That's kind of what I'd say. Unbelievably productive. I mean, like production points. He makes plays when he's in the wrong spot. He does the wrong thing, but even like on the 2-point play, I mean, he got a minus on that. He got a minus, but what a play, huh? But he didn't execute right. But that's what he can do. But very few people can do that. So we had the reverse last week. That's his play. I mean, just little things on how he, where his eyes are supposed to be and just being more detailed. But he's made of the right stuff. He's fast. He's explosive. He plays with great effort. And those are the things that you love because you can coach all the rest of that stuff. And then he's just, what he has you can't coach. I mean, he's just a freaky athlete. So just going to get better. He has improved all year. He did not grade well early, and now his grades have become much more consistent. Still not grading a winner, what we call a winner, consistently enough. But he's right there. He's right at that line, and he's a little over, sometimes a little under, and his minuses. But yet he'll lead the group in production points. So he's playing well, to answer your question. But he's still a work in progress. He's not anywhere close of what he's gonna be when the light really comes on for him. Because he's still learning a lot of football. He was down at Wilson, and he went out to IMG, and he's just. When guys are moving around and they don't really – he did not come in here with a great foundation. And so he's a developing guy, but he's willing. He's a great kid. I mean, just a super attitude and works really hard. But just getting him to be more knowledgeable and more detailed and more consistent in those things. And he's improved a ton. So this second half of the season, I'm hoping that we make big strides there, and then hopefully this time next year he's a really complete guy like an Isaiah Simmons. But it just takes time. But he's doing a great job. He really is. All those guys. I mean, KJ is probably the most improved guy. I'm super pumped about KJ Henry and what he's doing. He's really kind of transformed himself from where he was last year and even at the beginning of fall camp. You know, but he's a very self-aware kid. He's very different than Isaiah. He comes from a very good football foundation, you know, but he was more of a basketball guy and just physically had it, you know. It's going to be hard for Isaiah to develop more physically. I mean, he's unbelievable. KJ needed to develop physically, but mentally in a good place. And now the physicality is starting to show up. He's playing faster and freer because that knowledge is starting to kick in for him. So I think he's our most improved guy. And then, but the whole group. I mean, Logan, he's just a salty dog, man. He's steady. He's tough. You love everything about Logan. And then Justin Foster has really become a good player. And then Maskell's coming. So his physicality, the way he practices, Maskell's on his way. So it's a good group. It's a really good group.
You mentioned mental toughness with BT. Have you found that players respond differently, different types of discipline? Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's part of coaching is, you know, knowing when to love them and knowing when to chew them, you know. That's just part of coaching. They all need it. They all need both. And they all get both here. They all get it. Every single one of them. Ask Deshaun Watson if Coach Swinney ever chewed his butt. Ask Travis Etienne if Coach Swinney ever chewed his butt. Yeah, they all get it. But it's just, and a lot of it depends on who they are. And you know, sometimes you have guys come through here and you look for a chance to yell at them, and you don't ever get a chance to yell at them. It took me a while to get to yell at Trevor. I was so happy when I finally got to yell at Trevor. It was awesome. I was so excited. You don't give me opportunities. But yeah, I mean, that's just coaching. It's just, you know, you spend a lot of time together. And sometimes you got to put your arm around them. Sometimes you need to really kick them right in the butt. And if you raise kids, you understand that. At least that's how I was raised. That doesn't mean I'm right. That's just what I believe in. You know, I didn't have timeout in my house. I mean, not there's anything wrong with timeout, but Swinney boys didn't have timeout. That's to each his own. But I just think that in a world like we're in, I mean, this is a bunch of men. It's competitive, and you know, iron sharpens iron, right? And if you ever watch iron sharpen iron, there's some sparks that fly, and sometimes that happens. That happens player to player, coach to player, sometimes player to coach. I mean, it's just kind of part of the world that we live in, so.
What happened when you yelled at Trevor?
He just looked at me. Sorry, coach. You know, my bad. Yeah, that's it. It was like fall camp, I think, maybe. They never have a chance to yell at him. He just you know, kind of does. And I didn't get many opportunities at Deshaun either.
I want to ask about Braden and kind of what his mindset is from your perspective, and just getting.
Braden has done a really nice job. He's been a great teammate. I've been really proud of him. He have kept my eye on him all fall camp and all through the season, because that's hard when you're good enough to go play and it's not like you're hurt, you know, but you can't play. I just really like how he's handled himself. He has been an excellent teammate. He really has. He's gone over there on scout team, done a great job over there. He's really been a great help and encouragement to the other tight ends. And he's just stayed engaged. He's got a smile on his face. He's excited for the success of the other guys. I mean, I've been really, really proud of Braden. I think, you know, again, when things don't happen the way you want them, you got an option. You know, it can define you, destroy you, or develop you. And I think it's really developed him and matured him in a positive way. He's really chosen the right attitude. And he's just gone to work. You know, he's gotten in the weight room and he's preparing, and you know, he's going to get out of jail somewhere down the road here, December. I think it's like December 15th or something like that. He can you know, rejoin the group and be ready to help our team. So hopefully we'll have something to play for down that road when he comes back. But I've been really proud of him. Really proud of him.
Anybody else? All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.